This video was recorded in front of a live virtual audience. Hello everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to Essentially Dacob, my fragrance shrine, you guys. Today we got a Louis Vuitton perfume, a little sample. This time, we got Stellar Times going on, baby. That's the name of the perfume, Stellar Times. Franco Gehry designed the lid of the bottle, and it's the first time that Louis Vuitton is endeavoring into extrait territory. Now, you know I'm all about the pure perfumes, the essences, the extraits, so obviously I'm for the preservation of the art of pure perfumes. Most brands discontinue them because they don't sell as much. People don't use them. Sorry, my hair's a mess. People don't use them as much because it seems like it's a very expensive thing to buy such a small amount of liquid and, you know, yada, yada, yada. But anyway, these are not going to be sold or not sold in small, tiny 15 or 7.5 milliliter bottles. They're sold in the bigger bottles, but they are considered extraits, quite concentrated, right? So we got Stellar Times. And I thought to myself, no better time than 2021 to say we're living in stellar times. Are we though? Well, there's a lot of changes happening in my life. I have made some decisions for myself, and I can tell you, I'm just going out with a bang if there's any going out to be done. Stellar times, stellar times. So subscribe to my channel here on YouTube if you haven't already and you want to see more from my YouTube perfume YouTube review videos, and thumb up this video, and also join me every Saturday on my main channel where I live stream every Saturday. That's where I also film these reviews, and I film them live in front of a virtual audience. So I have my wonderful live co-chatters in the chats right now in the sidebar, so I'm reading you guys right now as we go along. So we're going to review this perfume together, and we're going to spritz it on right away. Extrait de Parfum, Stellar Times by Louis Vuitton. Let's like lavish ourselves with it. Dying for it, begging for it. Get off my back. Okay, so well, let me show you a close-up of it. So we don't have a colored little vial here. It's just a transparent little 2 ml sample vial. Hold on. And there you go. Stellar Times. Is there any special ingredient worth mentioning in here? Like some, you know, oak moss or some rose essence or jasmine? And no, nothing. Nothing. Okay, so, Stellar Times. Hold on, let me put my... Jacques Cavalier. Release date 2021, amber floral fragrance for women and men. And Louis Vuitton only gives us 3 ingredients: amber, orange blossom, and woody notes. That's it. It smells very light to me, not like an extrait. Not that an extrait has to be pompously intense, but this is kind of very much also the smell that I'm used to from Louis Vuitton, even when it comes to their other releases. There are eau de parfum releases. You know, this one doesn't give me a vibe of being more intense or more dense, but the amount that I sprayed on my skin, unlike the eau de parfums, this one has a slightly more, almost like an oily sheen to it. And obviously it doesn't have any oil in it because it's water, but it has like, maybe like a, it has a glossy effect. I'm not gonna, well, let me just touch it. It's a bit damp, the smell. I think we're gonna have to wait a little bit for it to develop, but you know, more than orange blossom. Yeah, Rich Mitch says no perfume has 3 ingredients. I know, right? More than orange blossom, it smells like it has some bergamot, some Sicilian bergamot. There's something green in there. And yes, the orange blossom is there, but it's not like, you know, sometimes orange blossom can be really overpowering. This one isn't. It's more subtle. Woody notes. What are woody notes? You know, it could be anything. It could be cedar wood, oud, agar wood, sandalwood. This is very orangey, citrusy to me, more than orangey, more like citrusy. And the amber is very much, almost smells aquatic. It's like an aquatic amber. And again, there is that hint of rose, which we know Jacques Cavalier always puts everywhere. So there must be a rose in here as well, even though it's not mentioned. And again, like every time I review a Louis Vuitton perfume, I tell you, it also reminds me a little bit of Classique. There's something in the DNA of all Jacques Cavalier's perfumes, something that kind of connects the dots always. And okay, this is not extrait quality, you guys. And even not really niche. Yeah, it's unisex. It's stated to be unisex. It doesn't really smell niche. It smells like a mass release product, really. Jesus says morning wood. Yeah. Yep. Debbie says boring. I don't want to say boring just yet. Let me give it like a minute or two while I talk about it with you guys. Alina says, then I must be older than Dacob without the vampire perks. Yeah, vampire here, 237 years old. So, you know, I've been there. Been there for many perfumes, many a perfume release, okay? Back in the day when partying to a perfume release was all about the absinthe and other things that today you can't really do, but back in the day you could. I'm starting to, it's warming up on my skin, and as it's warming up, the amber does mellow down the orange blossom, and they're starting to merge. And it's a very pleasant merge. It's a pleasant merge, and it's slightly, ever so gently, like dry woodsy, which can be interpreted as powdery, even though we're not talking orris root powdery. We're talking some weird rose mixed with woods concoction. Very interesting. How does it compare to Cactus Garden, asks Live Love Lynn. It smells very different to Cactus Garden. They're very different perfumes, you guys. Cactus Garden is more intriguing. Cactus Garden calls my name more. Cactus Garden makes me feel more like, ooh, you know, I want to know this perfume. I want to get to know this perfume more. This one is like, I'm trying to give it a minute to see if it's gonna convince me, you know? Yeah. The Winter says, I was thinking about that live. Which one? Which live were you thinking of? Ryan says, it's no high karate, and it's no haiku either. If it were to be a poem, this one does not represent one particular time of year. Absinthe is fun, says Prof. Melvin. Wouldn't you know? Seabree says, back in his day. Says, just extrait price then. Yeah, it has the price of an extrait. But there's something about that orange blossom that to me is a little bit too lemony, but like lemon peel lemony, which is a little vulgar. It's almost a little bit like skin that has not been washed to a point where it's going to turn off, but it's not turning off just yet. And you have the hormonal smell kicking in, which can be very sexual. I mean, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing, you know, to each their own, right? But and why, oh why, does Louis Vuitton always manage to create No matter how elegant they wanted their perfumes to be, and no matter what sort of ingredients they're telling us that they're using, why do they always manage to make them smell somehow synthetic? Like almost, it smells almost like it's intentional. It's like, I want you to smell that it's synthetic. For that price, I don't want it to smell this synthetic. What Sylvia did, hello from Shanghai. Hello, Sylvia. Welcome to the live chats. And hello to Shanghai. The Wintesi says, I was thinking about how it would compare to cactus. Oh, talking to Lovelyn. Yeah, okay, got it now. Alina says, I feel offended since I love lemon smells. Alina, lemon smell can be amazing, especially fresh lemon. Especially if you turn the outer shell of the lemon outwards, and if you kind of press on to bend it. Let's say you peeled the lemon, you took the pulp, the fruit out, and then you kind of press it, it kind of pops out all of the juices out of it, and then you go over it with your hand and it kind of stays oily on your skin. That smell is delicious. That smell is delicious. But sometimes the inside of that lemon peel, where the white kind of, the white meat is, that's attached between the outer shell and the fruit, that white meat, sometimes if you rub your finger on that, it has a lemony smell, but sometimes it's almost like a sweat, like a skin type of smell. And this is kind of bouncing between the two. It's not the outer shell, it's not the inner shell, but it could go to the inner shell depending on your own chemistry balance. And it has such a huge reminiscence of late 90s and early 2000s. So it's kind of nice if you want to reminisce and go to the past with newer type of chemicals, though. Of course, it doesn't smell like Dolce & Gabbana's first Dolce & Gabbana perfume. It doesn't have that in it at all. But something about the way it vibrates, it causes my brain to kind of go back to the early 90s Dolce & Gabbana times when they released their perfume. This could have been their perfume as well. We're talking Euro Italia times of Dolce & Gabbana. There's some memory into it. I mean, and again, I have this issue with a lot of Louis Vuitton perfumes, calling this fragrance Stellar Times. And for those of you who haven't seen the bottle, Franco Gehry designed this asymmetrical type of lid to the bottle, which is like made out of metal. It almost looks like liquid, like mercury. It looks like something that came out of Terminator. It looks like you shot into the metal stopper of the bottle and it kind of liquefied as the stopper kind of bursts outwards. But it also could look like if you throw a pebble into water and it kind of splashes everywhere, and that splash is kind of captured in motion, and that splash is then turned into a stopper. So the bottles, I think they released 5 pure perfumes with Franco Gehry designed bottles. So they all have that kind of splash effect. They all have these special names. I mean, Stellar Times makes you, but Louis Vuitton has this tendency of giving these huge titles to these perfumes, and then the perfume does not follow suit, because giving a perfume a name Stellar Times, okay, you're setting yourself up for, well, I'm expecting to smell it and feel amazing. Unless, of course, you're not trying to tell me that the 90s were stellar times and this is reminiscent of those times. I don't know. It's also kind of like a more numbed down version of Chanel's Gabrielle. Now, Gabrielle is more of a solar, sunny vibe fragrance with all of the sunflowers in there, tuberose being the most prominent one. this one doesn't go in that direction, but it is sunny. You know, it does have that vibe. It's actually very pleasant now that it's drying down. The amber is warming up. The amber is kind of melting on the skin. It's becoming more enveloping, more welcoming. But it's a cool amber. It's not a hot amber. It's not an amber that is all on its own. You know, we're not talking Obsession by Calvin Klein amber. No, we're talking an amber that has that layer of orange or orange blossom on top. And the woods are very delicate in there as well. I could wear this. I don't mind it, you guys. Now that it's kind of warming up to me, I'm glad that it was more repulsive in the opening and that now it's slowly getting better, because that's a good sign. You know, if a perfume already smells amazing, the first second you spray it on, you know, it can only kind of, most of the times, it only goes downhill from there. This one started off a bit, but it's becoming better. I mean, definitely not worth the money, you guys. I mean, let me just be very clear about this. I'm not looking for reasons to buy this. This one is not worth the money. Unless you're a collector of Louis Vuitton products and you want to have every bottle, and every bottle has this wonderful splash, design, stopper, or lid, then you're going to buy. You might even love the way this thing smells and you might think it's worth every penny. To me, it's way overpriced. I don't even know if I have here. No, I don't have the price here. I would have to Google it, but maybe somebody in the chats can tell me how much it costs. Maybe you can check it out while I'm reviewing it. DCAT says Louis Vuitton is starting to resemble a perfume house that makes accessories on the side. I mean, because they are releasing so many perfumes, it kind of does feel like, hey, we can do perfumes, we can do perfumes. Let's just like churn out all the perfumes that we could have been doing in the past 20 years, but we didn't. So now we're going to kind of compensate for the lack of that. says over-promising and under-delivering. Iris says, just saw the images of the bottle now. Frank was lazy, was expecting something completely different as soon as I heard the name. Yeah, I mean, you could be expecting something different. I'm going to lift up Stellar Time. I don't think it was lazy. I mean, the bottle is slightly asymmetric as well. It's very Franco Gehry, okay? It's an asymmetric bottle because you can see there's more glass here than on this side. So it's asymmetric like he always does. And then you have this kind of splash into mercury or splash into metal. You know what I mean? There, so you got a chance to see it. I don't mind the bottle. I really don't mind the bottle. I think the bottle delivers more than the smell. To be honest with you. 400 pounds, says DCAT. Yeah, it's expensive, I'm telling you. This is they treat it as an extrait. But, exactly, Jesus, it's 100 mil. So it's not that expensive for the amount. It's, you know, because usually 100 mil, you know, if you got Chanel number 5 extrait 100 mil, they don't do 100 mil, but they do 225 mil. It will cost you over $1,000 something dollars, like $1,500. 400, okay, $530 in the States. And Jesus says 450 euro for 100 mil extrait. And then Jesus says, honestly, 450 euro for 100 mil extrait is not that crazy, believe it or not. No, it's not. Like Chanel's, okay, 30 milliliter number 5 extrait is around $300. Shalimar extrait 30 milliliter over $300. So if we are to take this at face value and say, yeah, okay, Louis, you're delivering an extrait and you're charging for the extrait $530 for 100 mil, it's kind of okay, the price. But still, it's nice. It's nice, I gotta say. It's still not worth it for me, but it's a nice perfume. It's affluent. You smell rich in this. And I know a lot of people are gonna be like, okay, now I'm gonna buy it. I want to smell rich. It smells posh. It smells like a posh, rich person that wants to, dress elegantly and affluently, but just the right amount, and have this clean perfume around them. It delivers an aura, and it does smell better the longer you wear it. The amber is warming up, the woods are coming through, there's less and less of that orange blossom. It's nice. It it envelops you in a nice way. It's soothing, comforting, makes you feel like you're worth it, which a lot of people, that's all they want from a perfume, really. So, hmm. Decat says the 60 milliliter extrait of Sauvage is £100. Okay, so we have to mention quickly the difference between how perfume houses treat pure perfumes for men and how they treat pure perfumes for women. If they sell a pure perfume for women, they're going to charge you an arm and a leg per milliliter. Selling pure perfumes for men on the male market is a relatively new thing. It's been around just for a couple of years. In the 90s, they started with the eau de parfums for men. Men usually just had cologne and eau de toilette. Opium pour homme, big launch of an eau de parfum concentration back in the 90s. Eau de parfums followed. Now, since a couple of years, we have seen, Dior started with Dior Homme Parfum. They did Fahrenheit Parfum. Then Chanel followed with their Bleu de Chanel Parfum. Now, also Bleu de Chanel, 100 ml don't cost you the same amount as 100 ml Parfum Chanel No. 5 would cost you. And this just also shows us something. It shows us that brand marketing educates its consumers. They educated us to believe that pure perfumes for women have to cost more because they had more time to build up that pricing throughout the decades so that women know that they have to spend more for pure perfumes. Men have not been confronted with pure perfumes as much. Now they are. And so the entry-level price for brand marketing for male perfumes cannot cost as much as female ones because the man is not used to it anymore. But trust you me, give it some time and the brand marketing is going to work it. They're going to keep raising those prices. And most importantly, they're going to keep lowering the milliliters. So they're going to start with, let's say, 100 ml pure perfume of Sauvage is $150. Then they're going to make it 80 milliliter for $150. Then they're going to do 60 for $150. Then they're going to do 50 for $150. And they're going to do 30 mil for $150. And then they're going to be, reducing and then upping the price after a certain point a little bit. So it's a game they're playing with us. They always play these games. And that's the point. And also, Jesus says, in my opinion, male extraits are also not really pure perfumes. They're just finding random names for flankers. I mean, it is a different concentration. I can tell you there's a very different smell from a concentration type of smell between Sauvage Eau de Toilette, Sauvage Eau de Parfum, Sauvage Parfum, and the Sauvage Elixir. It's the same DNA, different concentration. This perfume, it's a Louis Vuitton fragrance, so it is unisex. That's why they're giving it a price that they would charge a man for pure perfumes, not a price that they would charge a woman for pure perfumes. Because if this was targeted only to women, it would have been a 15 milliliter bottle for $400. Instead, we got a 100 ml bottle for, how much is it? €450 or $530. But it's very, very pleasant on the skin. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. It's a rare, sophisticated, slightly bland, bourgeoisie, safe smell, reminiscent of the 90s. Not bad. Who wants a stick up their butt? Buy this perfume instead. It's much more comfortable, unless you're not into that kind of stuff. I recommend this one if it were cheaper. I definitely recommend you try it. Stellar Times. And as I said, it doesn't make you feel like you're living in stellar times. It's more there to make you think about how stellar times were in the past. So it doesn't deliver a moment of stellar times while you're wearing it, but rather a nostalgic feeling about what stellar times were. It's a pleasant smell. Hey Edu, welcome sweetie. It's a pleasant smell. I would wear this. I would wear this. I would recommend it if you get it for free, or if you can get yourself, as a present, or if you can get yourself a sample of it just to try it out. Don't judge it the first 10 minutes. Give it some time. As it warms up, it becomes really lovely on the skin. Simple, lovely. There's that hint of rose in there that Jacques is so famous for, and the amber and the woodsy notes really blend together really nicely. Very elegant, simple perfume with an interesting bottle. It doesn't smell like Stella McCartney, David. No. No, 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 it doesn't. Yeah, exactly. The winter is orange, woodsy notes, and rose, and amber. There's amber in there as well. You got to find an emoji for the amber too. What Sylvia did. You are right, Jacob. Always watch the milliliter. My sis is a buyer for a big supermarket chain corporation, and she always mentions how brands hide price increases by reducing the grams and milliliters of their products. Yeah, exactly. Just the other day, I bought a little oh, this is a stupid example. A lot of you won't know it, but here's a great example. The Toblerone or Toblerone chocolate, the one like the triangle one that looks like little mountaintops, the Swiss chocolate, Toblerone. To keep the price the same, they reduced the size of them. I remember it was really hard to kind of break off one chunk of the mountain. Now you open it, it's like half the little mountain. They're like so much skinnier. They hide you like that. They trick you like that. Yeah, yeah, sea breeze. Shrinkflation. Yeah, they shrink the size of things. Rich Mitch says women are more reasonable and agreeable. They're much more willing to compromise and not be chest beating imbeciles. Thus, they are more susceptible to being taken advantage of. I wouldn't cut ladies that short, Rich Mitch. They just love the dream, the opulence, they're being educated that way since birth. Oh, you're the princess. Oh, marry the prince. Oh, everything is lovely. Live in a little cloud, live in your little castle. And then of course in your castle, you're going to have this pure perfume bottle standing on your night table or your beauty drawer, whatever it is. And there's this whole, you're raised with that mentality, and then you kind of like, you want to live that dream. Uh, I enjoy it, but it ain't worth the bottle purchase for me. That's all I'm saying. I hope you like this review. I mean, there's nothing really more to say. It doesn't make me envision anything particular poetry wise, except for a vision of the 90s of somebody dressed boring casual, you know, sportive wear, kind of that typical not American, Italian, I want to say, even though this is a French brand, French perfume. My light turned, darn it. That it's like this perfume that like dressed up in boring pant, a little cardigan sweater rolled up on the shoulders, polo shirt, your little Hermes belt, clean, preppy, nicely cut hair. And then you wear this perfume, it feels safe and clean. And I mean, could be kinky, but it's the type of person that's going to be kinky in hidden places, and that they're going to be like super composed in front of everybody else, which is kind of really hot if you think about it. But anyway, that's a whole other can of worms. Oh, okay. The fantasy is rolling. Child, let me drink some water. Oh, let's cool down. Oh, where did the Italian go? Where he go? He go. Anyway, you guys, so that's that. Yes, I like this one. I do. I do. I hope you've enjoyed this. Yeah, JC Crew, J Crew from the 90s. Yeah, Ralph Lauren, Polo Ralph Lauren. Yeah, Seabreeze can never find certain pale blues for women. It's silly. It's almost 3 a.m. here in Finland, says Nina, but just can't stop watching this. Amanda Deep Buller says, oh my God, when you mentioned the description of who would wear it, I thought of Carlton. Yeah, like Carlton from The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. You know Carlton is naughty, naughty, naughty when he wants to. Yeah, that it's also like slightly nerdy as well. Kinky, you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, just say it, you know what I mean? Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this review. Angela says, oh my God, I need to try the new one said. Oh, you're talking about the Toblerone chocolates now. I just mentioned food and all my chats immediately hungry people rushing to the fridge to get snacks. So you gotta stock up on Toblerone. Oh, yeah, Ryan, that review took a sudden turn. I know, right? Because when it warmed up in the right way, it just like, oh, it kicked ya. It kicked ya. Ooh, cha, yes. Yeah. Very Charlotte, Sex in the City. Yeah, Charlotte could wear this one. This is a Charlotte type of scent. Just saying. Christina says, thanks for the video, Dacob. From perfume to Toblerone. Food is great though, says Angela. You see, you can't. I mentioned a chip, a potato chip, a banana or something, and off we go. Great review, says Aisha. Thank you so much, sweetie. Not gonna lie, I just had a bit of Toblerone because of the chat. Caitlin says, we need a kinky favorites video. The Hermes crop would be an obvious choice, and perhaps Stellar Times. Yeah, we need, oh my God, Hermes so needs to make a perfume called The Crop. I'm sorry, but Hermes, wake up and smell the coffee. Make a perfume called The Crop or Le Crop. Yeah. Live Love Lynn says, might get a sample. Picked my curiosity. And then a devil emoji. A gourmand that smells like Toblerone. Says Rich Mitch. Did anybody say chocolates? And something. Oh, Seabree says there's a Demeter or Demeter perfume called Riding Crop. Cheap. Love it though. Jam says to Seabreeze, I know he does have pour homme in the movie. I think he would say oud is too hippie. I'm not sure, lol. Who would? Seabreeze, I know he does have YSL pour homme in the movie. Who has it in the movie? This is a cliffhanger, you guys. We do not know what jam means. Demeter, our strange house, also got a perfume called Celery. And it smells like celery. Or the salary. The salary that people are not getting because of all of this lockdown that we're in. Oh, American Psycho, Seabree says. American Psycho. Oh, gotcha. In the movie American Psycho, the main actor, Patrick, I know he does have YSL pour homme in the movie. American Psycho, but I think he would say oud is too hippie. I'm not so sure. I don't think he would do oud either, honestly. Wow, anyway, we went from perfume to food to American Psycho. Welcome to the Fashion Bunker, Essentially Dacob perfume reviews. Until next time, never forget to never give up on love. Love you all. See you soon. Take care. Bye.